I'm going to take you through an analysis of genome expression data related to cancer. So using data from the Cancer Genome Atlas, which is available through the GDC Data portal. So I'm going to break this into a number of separate steps, and this is the first sort of background and introductory one, saying the things that you need and the things that we're going to use. Now I'm going to use, in this particular case, the legacy version, but I could also go through the new version of this particular portal, but it's just faster for an initial go to the legacy version. I will come back and do a new version of this using the new version of the portal, because the legacy one will not be supported indefinitely. So if I click on here to look at the legacy one, it looks slightly different. It's just much about layout. You still get the same people, and that's the thing that matters. So it's going to be retired in the near future, as it says. But for now, while it is still there, this is easier to get the information that I need. Now, when you're doing bioinformatics, you're dealing with thousands of files and lots of data, so you don't want to do it by hand. You want to use automatic tools, and particularly you want to program a system which will take your data and take it through most of the different steps on its own. So you only have to do small alterations to a piece of code to allow you to do the analysis. So this is a workflow. Now the workflow that we're going to use, I've already pre-written a workflow script which just needs to be customized for your particular hypothesis and your particular question. Now this workflow has been written in R, and R is a statistical programming language that you'll need to have installed on your computer. Now I would suggest, as a process, you want to have RStudio installed. So RStudio is an integrative development environment, and that makes it much easier for you to use R than using it as a native. But first it requires you to install R. You can get RStudio, well, you can type Google RStudio and it will take you to here. So the company that now produces RStudio is called POSIT. R is available from the Comprehensive R Archive Network, which is actually several different sites which your web browser should hopefully send you to the local one to wherever you are geographically. So this one's probably the one based in London. There are ones based in America, South America. They're all over the world. All of them will look exactly the same. So you can see here what the current version of R is. So it's R version 4.3.2. Now depending on what kind of computer you're using, depends on which one you want to download. If you want to use it on a Mac, you download the Mac one. If you want to download Windows, you download the Windows one. The Windows one, you download Base, which is the basic part of it. So it's 4.3.2, it's 79 megabytes. You can download that from there. There's also, if you're going to do it on Windows, RTools, which you need to install as well. So this contains various things you need which will allow you to add on extra functionality within R. If you download the Mac version, depending on which version of the Mac operating system and what kind of processor you have on your Mac, depends on which one you need to download. But you also need to make sure that you've got Xcode working to do compilation of R packages. So this does the same thing as RTools. So you download that. There are some extra versions, extra tools you might need. If you go to this page, it gives you extra details. In most cases you don't need any extra tools, you just need to make sure Xcode's working, but occasionally, depending on how old your Mac is or how it's set up, you might need some of these. And the other one is Linux, and if you know how to use Linux, you know how to do the install of these. So it's available for Debian, Fedora and Ubuntu. Now, once you've got R installed, you can then install RStudio. Now there's one final thing you need to do with R. So R is a statistical program. It's not specifically designed for bioinformatics, but there are a vast amount of tools which are created within R which you can use for bioinformatics, and these are under something called BioConductor. So the other thing we're going to use is BioConductor, and I'm just showing the website here and just saying let's get started. So you need to install R the same as you went to from the for using RStudio, and then you want to type this particular thing in to actually install the manager so that you can install things from BioConductor. But I'll come back to that in a second. So the current version here is 3.18. It will work with any R version which is 4.3 point something.